Hello, everybody. So I know we haven't done one of these in a while. Me and Cole are gonna get back on a regular schedule. Um, but for today, we are going to do some Royal Rumble predictions, and get into some of that. And then hopefully next Monday or Tuesday, we'll do a reaction to the Rumble. And then after that, we'll get on a regular schedule. But we are back. I did say that previously on a different video that we'd be back doing this here soon. And here we are. So, Cole, how are you doing?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. It is raining outside, but we're doing good.
Well, at least you don't have a bunch of snow like we do.
That's coming. I think Friday.
Oh, really?
hmm
Well,
Even we're due for a
good luck.
glancing blow.
All right, but anyway, we're gonna kick things off here and just go straight into the Rumble. We'll talk about the actual Royal Rumble matches last. Um, I think this will probably be quick. Let's go through some of these side matches. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maurice. What do you think about this one here?
I definitely think Edge is going to carry this one out. They've had a very good run. I mean, they recently one of their little promos on Raw that I watched definitely felt like something out of the ruthless aggression era during the 05, 06 years. So definitely felt like a nice blast from the past. But I think this is going to be a very interesting little tag team little matchup. Miz and Marseille versus Edge and Beth Phoenix. That's going to be a must watch in my opinion. I think they're going to kind of bring back that old 05, 06 WWE into their match.
Yeah, normally I don't really care about these mixed gender matches. But I do think it's interesting given the fact that these are both, married couples and they're both guys who, are good sellers, good workers. Edge has been doing some of his best promo work recently. So I mean, even though this match doesn't necessarily mean much of anything, bringing Beth Phoenix back into the picture, Maurice getting back into the picture. Um, I got Edge and Beth to win. I think it's going to be a little bit of back and forth, but it'll be a happy ending for the crowd there with Edge winning. Um, you had Edge winning too, right?
Did I say Mars? Yeah, I did. Did I say Marseille earlier?
Yeah,
That's a little town in France. What am I doing?
I
What
was
am I
like,
doing?
I,
Maurice,
I was like, he must have just read it
Marseille.
wrong, but
Did I just say Marseille? I got the Y and the R mixed up somehow. I guess
oh
must be
well,
getting
close
dyslexia these
enough.
days. What can I say? We'll get it right.
Uh, but who'd you have
But yeah,
winning this again?
uh, yeah, and Beth Phoenix for sure. But yeah, I agree with you on the usually not so hot on the mixed gender matches, but like I said, this one this one catches my attention more than other mixed gender matches normally would.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on to the next, you have the Raw Women's Championship match. I couldn't care any less. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think Becky Lynch is gonna win. That's all I got to say about it.
Uh, the one thing I don't understand is why is it Dewdrop?
Yeah, I
Why
don't
is
know
it
either.
not Liv Morgan? Why is it not Bianca Belair? Because here's the thing: watching the last few Raws, everything I've been watching, when it comes down to this match right here for the Royal Rumble, I was expecting a triple threat match with Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and Becky Lynch. That would have been great,
Yeah.
but Dewdrop? What?
Yeah.
Come on! I mean, you got three of the best women's wrestlers out there right now. Not, I mean, obviously you got Charlotte Flair, of course, but even still, you got Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair. I mean, come on. Why can't we have a triple threat on a pay per view with those three? and we'll have like Liv Morgan or either Liv or Bianca carry the title. I mean, come on. Like,
Well,
not that I
and
don't like Becky, but
yeah, and the
come on.
Rumble's always one
It,
of the most watched pay-per-views. So the fact that this is the match you're throwing out there for an audience maybe that hasn't seen a pay-per-view in a while, I don't know. I don't think it's a great strategy, but whatever.
I mean, they could be saving that triple threat for WrestleMania. I mean, maybe, but I doubt it. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
It would have been
it's
so much better if it was a triple threat. But hey,
yeah,
I'm not
and
booking WWE.
I assume you think Becky will win.
Yeah, Becky Lynch for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, you drop. Come on. This is the kind of cartoony BS booking that we're so used to. And where is Vince McMahon? Nowhere to be seen. Where's Bruce Pritchard? Nowhere to be seen. And these, wonderful writers and creative team that were basically just picked off a college campus that had never watched a wrestling show. Come on.
Yeah.
If they'd have done a triple threat, it'd have been so much better. But hey,
And I mean, to be fair, it's not like I've been watching every single week, but I mean, come on, come up with a better matchup. Um, all right, let's get into these championship matches before we get into the Rumble matches themselves. Um, start off with the WWE Championship match. In a surprising victory, Brock Lesnar becomes WWE Champion. It was funny because I was actually texting with somebody back where I used to live who's a wrestling fan, and they asked me like, who do you want to win? I said I really don't care, but it would be hilarious if Brock won on last minute notice, and it happened. So, I mean, I thought it was funny, but the Brock Lesnar Bobby Lashley match that a lot of people have been waiting for happening at the Royal Rumble. I think that's a bit interesting. I would have rather that been a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam, but it is what it is. Lesnar and Heyman are back together, Bobby and MVP. So, Cole, what do you think about this?
Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. I think it's about time. Personally, yeah, we could have saved this for WrestleMania. Personally, my WrestleMania would have been Lesnar, Roman, and Bobby. I mean,
Yeah.
that'd have been. I mean, that could have been a triple threat, nice little hot triple threat. That'd have been a good match. Yeah, Klondike Brock and Klondike Brock and Roman and Bobby. Yeah, with their managers, and you got Heyman taking bumps and cutting promos and everything. I mean, yeah, one thing for sure. I think. I think Brock's going to hold on to it a little longer. I mean, then again, I was thinking about this earlier, and it's either if Brock holds on to it a little longer, I mean, that means obviously to be around for a little longer. But if they give it to Bobby, then my guess is that Lesnar kind of fades back somewhere in South Dakota or wherever the heck he's at now, and they push Roman back to the moon. And they give Heyman or something. They make Roman and Heyman. But anyways, I think personally, I think Brock's going to hold on and they're going to keep Happy Heyman, cutting promos. So
Yeah, I'm excited for this match, but I'm disappointed because and this will be one thing we'll probably get into later, but I think we're heading towards an inevitable unification match for the championships between Roman and Brock. Um my guess would be that's going to happen before WrestleMania. That would be my guess, just because of the whole Royal Rumble and who does the winner choose type thing. Because they're setting up for Brock Roman at some point, and I don't think it's gonna be WrestleMania. Um, we'll get into that after we talk about who the Royal Rumble winners in our opinions will be. But I hope this is something that they can revisit. I hope this is a great match these two put on the show that people have been waiting for, and then down the line next year, like I said, maybe you can have, Brock be champion at some point, then have Bobby beat him or something like that. I think I'm fine with them having this match now, but to me, this needs to be a program. This needs to be a long, drawn out feud, and I don't think that's what they're going for now. Maybe I'm wrong. Um, but again, I agree with you. I got Brock winning this, but I do think it'll be a good match. Hopefully,
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a really. I mean, from kind of what I'm gathering, it just seems like this is going to be a very solid blow off match.
yeah.
So, which, I mean, if they needed a main event for just something to fill in the time, I guess that works.
Yeah.
So,
It's a little
what can I say?
disappointing that it's gonna be a one and done, it seems, but like I
Yeah.
said, hopefully it's something they can revisit later. Then you have the Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Kind of weird how this all got set up. Again, storylines mixing with the Brock and Roman, and now all of a sudden they're both champions, and here we are. Now it's Seth versus Roman. Cole, what do you think about this? Do you think this is something that they've had planned, or is this a last minute thrown together thing?
This is last minute all the way. I mean, come on. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins promos really. I mean, even though we know they're scripted, but they give me headaches. I mean, just his delivery with a promo and everything is so terrible.
I hate this
I
character of him.
they've really done a terrible job with the character of Seth Rollins. Just completely messed it up. Uh, honestly, it's gonna. I mean, wrestling wise, it's gonna be a good match, but a decent match. Yeah, decent to good match, whatever. But it just seems like that Seth was just thrown in the mix for some reason. I mean, come on, you could have had Kevin Owens, you could have had Cesaro, you could have had
Yeah.
any one of the like Damian Priest. Come on, like I mean, you had better options, but Seth Rollins, man, I mean, if it was Damian Priest, I'd have been, I mean, I would have almost put that on top of the WWE Championship, to be honest. Or if it was Cesaro, I mean, because we know they go 20 minutes Broadway. I mean, they make it look like a heck of a show. But
Yeah. Even if it's an obvious, decision, even if it's obvious that they're gonna lose, they're gonna make it a good match.
exactly.
But
But Seth Rollins, I mean, please, Roman Reigns all the way. Obviously, I mean, this is just like the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. Just two. I mean, except for Miz and Maurice, the rest of the other matches like Becky Lynch and Doudrop, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, and Bobby Lashley, those are just little blow off matches. I mean, they could have been they could have done a better job on that on the booking. I mean, goodness
yeah,
grief, it's a Royal Rumble.
it seems like this entire match card, the only matches that actually matter are Brock and Bobby, just because we've waited for so long. And then the 2 Royal Rumble matches. Like, everything else, everybody knows that Becky's gonna win. Everybody knows that Roman's gonna win. Brock we know is gonna win, but people are interested because of the opponent and, facing Bobby. And that's something people have wanted to see.
True,
Um,
they could have
but
done a better
yeah,
job with it, though.
yeah, they could
Honestly,
have handled this a lot better. But as far as this match, yeah, Roman's gonna win. It'll be maybe a solid match, hopefully. I'm just confused booking wise. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Two heels, like, are they trying to make Roman seem like he's face now? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
we could have done a better job booking that. Really,
Yeah, it's
we could
bad.
have done a better job booking that.
All right,
Oh
so
man,
let's jump into one of these Royal Rumble matches. Let's talk about the one that I really have no clue what's going to happen, the women's Royal Rumble match. There have been plenty of announced returns, I guess you could say. Nostalgia returns. Like the Bella Twins, Kelly Kelly, who else am I thinking of? Mickey James, people like that. Cole, before you get into this, here's what I'll say, and I think you'll agree with me. I could not hate it anymore that they're announcing these returns before the Rumble. Like the what makes the Rumble such a fun match is the unknown. Do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys about this match. I really,
Surprise! They could have just did a surprise, but
yeah,
no.
it's because they're worried nobody's gonna watch, so they're gonna ruin every return.
I mean, have you seen the stadiums lately?
Yeah,
Have you seen the stadiums
yeah,
lately?
that's a
Even in
problem.
AEW, I mean,
Yeah,
people are only showing up for the. At least they're showing up for the pay per views. I mean, we can vouch for that. But I mean, you go to a Raw or a SmackDown, and people are like,
it's
"What
20
is
people.
this?
It's a house show now.
It's a house show now." Yeah,
But
exactly.
anyway, as far as this women's Royal Rumble match, I don't I feel bad saying I don't care, but I really don't. I hope they let somebody like a Liv Morgan win it. Um, and then go on to WrestleMania. Let her kind of prove herself, I guess, throughout this match. Because the whole thing is that she's not like a main event caliber, is kind of what they've been going for. So WWE, do your job, build her up, have her win, and then kind of go maybe the Daniel Bryan route of 2014, 15, whenever that was, of the hey,
Hmm.
we don't believe in you thing. And then, he keeps winning. The fans naturally get behind him. I think they could do something like that here. And it obviously wouldn't be the same, but to me, that's where I would go if I'm booking this match. But Cole, what do you think?
Royal Rumble. Let's see. Yeah, I agree. I agree with your philosophy behind it. I'm just confused by some of the people that are in here. Like, let's see, Michelle McCool,
Gosh, The Undertaker's
the
retired, but
Undertaker,
she's
the
wrestling
Undertaker.
now?
Yeah, she's wrestling. Michelle McCool's
Good
in the
grief.
match. Michelle McCool's in the match. Okay, you got
She's
Mick.
gotta be making fun of him for that.
Oh
She's
yeah.
p
Oh
she's
yeah.
probably going, "Huh, I'm still wrestling and you're not."
I mean, let's see. Well, like I see a lot of names, but none of them are standing out. Like, okay, like I see
I
Rhea
will
Ripley,
it's cool to
Baszler.
have the Bellas, though, back,
Yeah, I will agree with that. The Bella girls, definitely that is a good thing. I will say that. Lita, they brought
Yeah.
Lita is in the match. What is
But
she?
you know what's
What?
sad, though? They're gonna have her eliminated within a minute. That's the worst
Yeah,
part.
I think, and they're gonna trash Michelle McCool too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in the end I think in the end we're gonna see a Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan match.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the end of
And
the
Kelly, that's a blast from the
Kel-
past, jeez.
Kelly. Yeah, goodness. Yeah.
Um,
Um.
but I
Well,
really don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do here because 'cause
I
they're
I
stupid. I mean, they could
it,
always go
to
back to
me,
the Sasha or something like that, but why?
I don't know. I mean, that's just recycling at that point. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just recycling old talent and trying to make it new, and it's just like, but it ain't the same. Personally, I think it's going to be Bianca versus Liv Morgan in the end. They're going to go and have like a little 5 minute, squasher. Or maybe like, yeah, I mean, I could see like a Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair going down a little bit, and then they move forward, and then they have a Bianca versus Liv Morgan 5 minute little squash match, and then boom. So probably Liv's going to go over for the women's. That's my thing. Uh, then again, I don't want to doubt Rhea Ripley or Charlotte Flair. I like to see Rhea Ripley get a nice little push. I mean, that's my personal
Yeah,
opinion,
I
but
do too. My
hey,
thing
Liv
is
Morgan
though
ain't, ain't too good
they
either.
just did that not that long ago. But
That is
who
true. They did
knows?
they did give Rhea Ripley a little push.
All right,
So,
let's talk about
anyways,
the interesting one. Let's talk about the men's Royal Rumble. Um, so I don't know if they've done the same thing as far as like naming people, but there is heavy, heavy, heavy speculation that the Royal Rumble match is going to have some Forbidden Door entrance in it, and everybody's speculating. Everybody is kind of guessing here. Um, Here's what I will say. If there is somebody from another wrestling company in to make a like one-time appearance, I'm going to tell you who it is. Everybody's thinking it's going to be Cody Rhodes because oh, his contract's supposedly up. No, it's going to be Chris Jericho, people. Use your head. Chris Jericho is the only one from AEW that Vince would say, "Hey, come back, do a rumble, whatever." He's the only one. I mean, it just to me it makes too much sense from that standpoint. Um, because I mean, you're not gonna see a John Moxley back. You're not gonna see, CM Punk. That ain't happening for the love of God. So what do you think about this whole thing? Everybody's debating and talking about this whole Forbidden Door thing. Do you think it's gonna happen?
I think there's a good possibility. I would be very surprised if it was Chris Jericho, though.
Really?
Yeah, I would be very surprised if it was Chris Jericho. I mean, just like, yeah, okay, he's still on good term with Vince and everything, but I would think that it would be someone other than Chris. Like, okay, Cody Rhodes is a no go because he's an EVP over at the
Yeah, that
competitor.
ain't happening.
So, I mean, yeah, it's logical. But I would be really surprised.
Well, here's the thing. We know it's not gonna be Impact because nobody cares about Impact. We know it's not gonna be Ring of Honor because nobody cares about Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
There's only
those
2
two died
companies
long
people
ago.
care about. So, it's gotta be if it happens, it'll be somebody from AEW. Now, would it be somebody like The Big Show? Maybe.
Doubtful.
Maybe. I can't imagine it would be a guy who hasn't been in WWE before. You know what I mean? Here's what I'll
Hmm.
say though. If I can do a fantasy booking pitch here real quick. If you're gonna take somebody from AEW one-time performance, or appearance, I should say, MJF. Just one.
Yes.
MJF. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Because he's been talking about CM Punk and how, in WWE, his failures, I guess you could say. And Punk basically, I forget what the promo was, but I heard it. He was talking about like, um, you go over there and get mistreated or something like that. I'm paraphrasing very much here, but how hilarious would that be if MJF showed up in the WWE Royal Rumble? That would be hilarious.
That would be a very good night. I'll say
Oh,
that much.
yeah.
That would be a very good night. I would love to see MJF. Absolutely.
Well, who do you think it could be? Because I don't really know what their options are.
I think we really named off all the options unless somehow
Yeah.
I
Because here's
mean
the
like
thing, and this is an important part to think about when you're talking about this.
mhm,
They're not going to have somebody that is going to make you want to go watch AEW. Like, that's not gonna happen. They're not gonna bring Kenny Omega in unless he's gonna be in WWE. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Um, so whoever they're gonna bring in is gonna be, in my opinion, is gonna be somebody who has had connections with WWE that people will know. It'll be enough to get a buzz. Like if Jericho came in, people would say, "Oh my gosh, Chris Jericho's in the Rumble. How crazy is that?" But it's not like people are gonna go watch AEW because they saw Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Or the Big Show or somebody like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But
Yeah, Chris Jericho kind of, yesterday's news, so to speak.
I mean, because they wouldn't do Christian again, would they?
Hey, Can't never say never. I mean,
I mean,
I
I don't
think it's
know.
possible. Christian might just make a surprise appearance, but it's hard to say.
Yeah. So anyway, as far as the match itself, we have a list of names here. Nobody big I mean nobody big as far as like guys returning. Obviously you have Rey Mysterio in, who's a long time well-known wrestler. But we were kind of talking about this before we started. Johnny Knoxville in the
Johnny
Royal Rumble.
Knoxville,
Um
Johnny freaking Knoxville.
uh,
Oh my goodness, they brought Johnny Knoxville in. Are you serious? This is okay. Yeah, it's better than Bad Bunny. Let's be honest
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
But
Oh yeah,
Johnny Knoxville, Johnny Knoxville.
What
This
we
is
were
great.
talking
I
about
gotta see
though is
this,
what
man.
spot are they gonna make him do? Are they gonna put him through a table or something? Like,
I don't know.
you
I
know it's
mean,
gonna be big.
I bet you they got one. I bet you they got because I mean we all know he's advertising for Jackass. So
Yeah.
I bet you they got a Jackass film crew and they're just doing this as a part of the as a part of Jackass. That's what I really think is happening. They're like
Yeah.
they put hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. This is me going through a table. Boom.
They'll and you know what though? They'll put it in the show. I
Oh yeah,
guarantee
for
it. It'll be
sure.
a part of their what they do, but it is hilarious though to see Johnny Knoxville in the Royal Rumble. Um, you know,
I mean,
but
come on. Has anybody seen Johnny Knoxville? The man's gone gray. He looks like he's, falling apart from all the pranks and stuff he's done over the years. I mean, Johnny looks like a very old man, and he is pushing 50 as we speak. So, I mean, goodness. But you know what? If Johnny wants to go for one more round, breaking bones and having arthritis,
oh,
I mean, hey, know what? Go right ahead, Johnny. We are
I mean
all here to
at this
watch you
age he
go
might
to a
just be
table, man.
killing himself.
Honestly, if this was back around 2011, we'll say, I could probably see Johnny Knoxville redoing the 98 well no 98 Hell in a Cell where
Yeah.
he gets thrown off the cage into the announcer table. I could see that happening, but I'm afraid if they did that, I mean, you might not find all the pieces to Johnny Knoxville. I mean,
I don't
goodness
know
grief.
what they're gonna do. It will be one of the most
uh,
exciting spots from the Rumble, though,
oh yeah,
just to
that'll be the
wait and
hottest.
see.
Just hot. That'll be the hottest thing to watch. Watching Johnny Knoxville get broken into a million pieces.
All right,
Oh,
so
that was funny 10 years ago, and it's still funny now.
yeah, definitely. Let's talk about some possible returns. This is a name that is very controversial. All right, I don't know what your opinion is on him, so it'll be interesting. But it's a guy who at one point was a huge star in WWE. And then, like many others, he kind of phased out. But he's had injuries. After many years, he's finally back and ready to wrestle again, cleared to wrestle again. Does he show up in WWE? Ryback.
Ryback wants to make another run. Man, I don't know about that. I mean, he was okay when he wrestled. As Jim Cornette likes to call him, fatback. I I don't know. I mean, it's built. I'm not putting any money on it. I mean, Ryback just
Would you be against it? Would you be against it?
no. I would not. I would not be
Okay.
against it. I would.
Okay.
I would be interesting to. It would be interesting to see, but I mean, I don't think Ryback's got it in him.
I think, and I know
That's just my view.
there's a ton of people who think he's a bad person. I never really got that. I think he was just involved in a lot of controversy, so I think some of people's views on him might be skewed a little bit. And he's got a very unique personality. But when it comes to getting back in the business, he's open to a return. I mean, he's talked about it all the time. They continuously ship stars out, and we'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. Um, to me, at his highest, he was a legit star. Like, I remember growing up, and throughout the 2013 time, 2014 time, he was the biggest star. He was bigger than Punk, at least in my eyes at the time. He was bigger than Cena. I remember I went to a SmackDown in Toledo, Ohio, and the guy in front of me, I'll never forget this. This was one of the craziest things at a wrestling event I ever heard. He goes, sitting there, waiting in line, listening to him or listening to the conversation in front of me. And he goes, "Man, Ryback's going to be here. I've waited for months to see that dude. I can't wait to see him." And I was like, in my head, I'm thinking about it. And of course, now I kind of understand it more. But at the time, I was like, wow, like, man, people love him. Now I look at that and I go, he was believable. Like, people bought into him, being the big guy,
Hmm.
being the monster, when he was a heel. I think that worked, and I think it would work great right now. That's just my opinion. I think it would
Yeah,
be a perfect time. Go ahead. What were you saying?
he was a hell of a heel, man. He was a hell of a heel.
Yeah,
Great
I
heel.
think they
I
should do
mean,
it.
he really man. You know, definitely when I was watching WWE back then, yeah, Ryback was one of the hottest heels they had. I mean, and still could be hot when it comes to being a heel. And hey, he might even show the people there now how to be a heel. Because I mean,
Yeah,
anybody that knows
and
Ryback in real life, I mean, he's a cool dude, but I mean, he is a legitimate heel, just
And the
all the
thing
way.
is, the whole big controversy with him was so much involved with John Cena. He was just always mad because they never let Ryback be the guy. You know what I'm saying? It was always going back to John Cena, and then CM Punk was accusing him of purposely trying to hurt him and whatnot, which I I don't really have a side on. Like, I know people really take one side or the other. I think it's a little bit of both. I think maybe Ryback was jealous, yes, but I also think that Punk was being treated so bad outside, as far as like by Vince and by Triple H and
Hmm.
Laurinaitis and the booking people. I think that he kind of took it out on Ryback a little bit. So I don't think I think if he came back now, he would be in a good spot because there's really no untouchable guy right now other than Roman. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
would bring him back and have him on Raw. Let him go full heel. Let him feud with Bobby or whoever. Have Bobby turn babyface, whatever. I would do it. I'd like that idea. I think WWE is a better fit for him than AEW. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what this remind me of? What the way you were just talking about Ryback? This remind me because like, let's see, stiff wrestler, check. Excellent heel, check. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Goldberg
Yeah.
in the WCW days from the early '90s or mid and
And
late '90s.
people
That is. I'm sorry.
people
Yeah.
always compared him to Goldberg too. That was a big thing.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
I mean, he pretty much. I mean, unfortunately, was could have been better, but hey, it
yeah,
was as close to
definitely.
Goldberg as you're going to get.
Yeah, I don't know. I know there's going to be a lot of people who hate that and hate that I'm even bringing it up because for whatever reason people hate him, but I don't know. I don't think it's a bad idea, and I think we kind of agree on that. As far as surprise returns, legends coming back and stuff like that, there's one name that I need to see in the Royal Rumble this year, and you're going to love it. WrestleMania's in Dallas, Texas. I need to hear that glass shatter. I need Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Rumble. I don't
Yes.
care. I don't care if
Wait
he
for
gets
everybody.
eliminated in 2 minutes. I need him in the Rumble. Just one last, please. One last one.
Man, I would love to see Stone Cold Steve Austin, but we know he's got a bad neck, he's got a bad everything, bad knees, bad everything.
I
I
mean, but
mean,
there's
he
ways to
looks
get
in shape,
around
but I
it.
mean, yeah, I mean, or like at least let him slap Vince around, let him wake him up or something. Be like, hey, what are you
That's
doing?
what they need to do. They need to
I
have
mean,
Shane McMahon in the Royal
just
Rumble. They need to have Shane in the Rumble because Vince can't do it at this point. Glass shatters. To me, it would fit in the story. It would fit because Stone Cold's
oh
hosting
my goodness,
WrestleMania, right? Didn't you say that?
that's correct. He is hosting.
So why not tell me this wouldn't be perfect to set up a promo later? Why not have Stone Cold Steve Austin come in the Royal Rumble? It would be a big return. You know that glass shattering gets a pop anywhere at any time. Stone Cold could be
Anywhere.
110 years old and it'll still get a pop. Why not have him come back, beat up Shane, eliminate Shane, and then you can have him get eliminated by somebody, you know. But here's my thing here though. What you can do later is then have him come out and cut a promo on Raw or SmackDown, whatever, you know, to try to hype up WrestleMania and stuff, and then have him drop a line of everything's bigger in Texas. The only thing that made sense was Stone Cold Steve Austin in the main event. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like, why not do it?
Yeah.
Who cares? I don't know. That's just something I want to see.
Uh,
But
when you're talking about cold, you're 10 years old. I can imagine. I'm just picturing this right now. I can see Stone Cold wheeling up in a wheelchair,
throwing up
wheeling
middle
up in a
fingers.
wheelchair, glass shattered. Oh my goodness, yeah. He's got
Uh,
the IV bag.
he's
I
in the
can see
doctor's
that,
gown
man.
from when Vince was in the hospital that one time.
Oh
Oh my
no!
god.
Oh man,
Can you imagine?
yeah.
They gotta do something. You can't just have him
They
host
would.
WrestleMania. That can't be it.
Oh yeah.
Ugh. But and then the other one, and this is, you know, I'm not saying they should do this, but I think this is their only option. I think the Royal Rumble winner this year is Dwayne the Rock Johnson because what they've done with Roman,
Hey,
they've made him untouchable.
that
They've
could be
made
the
him
surprise
unbeatable.
entrance.
Maybe. Maybe. But to me,
Hmm.
you can't do a Brock Roman WrestleMania. We've seen it too many times, and I don't think people care. You can't do a Bobby Roman WrestleMania. You can't do a Cesaro or somebody like that. To me, the only answer, and this is where I think they're going, and you can give me your pick here in a second, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to have Brock win, Roman win, have The Rock win the Rumble, but set up a feud between you have Roman and Brock continuing to be have Brock, Roman, and The Rock out there, right? And and then because the whole thing is the Royal Rumble winner chooses the championship. Have The Rock
Yep.
say, um, you know, I don't want either one of your championships or whatever. I want to be the guy, whatever. And then unification match for both championships. Roman wins because here's the thing: the WWE Championship right now is it came out in 2015,
Hmm.
2014, 2015. So it's old at this point. I mean, it's a great looking title, but they're gonna come up with a new design here soon. So to me, they're gonna unify the championships, have a new belt, Roman, Rock, main event of WrestleMania. Who's the real uh top of the Samoan dynasty there in WWE? That's how I see it going. But anyway, what do you think?
Completely possible. Be nice. It would be good to see too. It would work. Yeah, I think you nailed that on the. top. Definitely would work. To have The Rock come in and dominate for a little bit, so it provide a little bit of balance and everything. So
In a
good
perfect
take.
world, the Money in the Bank winner would still have it, and then you could have him cash in on Rock in a couple weeks. You know what I mean? So Rock wouldn't have to stay around and hold it. Um, or you could have Roman beat The Rock and then cash in, something like that. But that they've already burned that ticket, so who knows? And then if that does happen, though, I mean, you could do
Yeah,
Brock and Bobby at WrestleMania still, and have it just be a blood feud. So
yeah, that's totally possible. I don't know, man. It just was 2002. Why can't we just have pump some steroids into Scott Steiner and he'd be the secret entrant. You hear the sirens and stuff, and have him come out with the glasses and in the
oh,
metal
man, I didn't even
in the
think
metal
about this.
headpiece and just
Hey, the secret
slap
entrant,
around, slap
it's so
people around.
easy to
Yeah.
tell. It's so easy to tell. You know who it is?
Hmm.
Chris Benoit. Just
Who's
kidding. That's horrible.
oh
That's a
man.
horrible joke. I saw
Unfortunately,
I saw a thing on Twitter because and this is sidetracking, but people are kind of debating on if the Browns, don't like Baker Mayfield anymore or whatever. And people posted a picture of like them all happy. Then somebody in the comment section below posted a picture of Chris Benoit and his family smiling and said bad things happen still. I was like, oh my
oh
gosh.
no.
That's horrible.
I don't know. I mean, even though Chris Benoit did some bad things, let's put it like this: if you watch WrestleMania 17, Astrodome, Houston, Texas, watch Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
I promise you, you will never see wrestling the same again. I can tell you that because
Yeah.
that was the best technical wrestling match I'd ever seen. And there was another match, Malenko versus William Regal in WCW.
Mhm.
That's something to watch too. Which we're going to get into William Regal here in a minute.
Yep, and we might as well
So,
just
but
jump straight
anyways,
into it.
well, I was gonna wrap this up. I think the big finale for the Royal Rumble match, men's Royal Rumble. I think there's going to be something. I want to see it's either going to be Big E and Damian Priest or like AJ Styles. I mean, you got a lot of good names in here. I mean, Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens. I mean,
Shoot, give
I think
Ray
it's
one
Big E
last
versus
run.
Priest, but we'll see.
I wouldn't mind seeing
Hey,
Ray
I mean,
get
Ray
one
could do
last
it
run.
if I think if there is anybody that does deserve one last run, though, yeah, it is Ray.
Yeah,
I think Ray does
but
deserve one last little push. So,
so go ahead and
anyways,
let's
let's
get
move on to.
into some of the other stuff here.
Let's see what we got on our format for today. WWE releases. They've been letting some serious people go lately, and I am not happy about it. Let's see. Let's start off with William Regal. William Regal and Triple H are pretty much the reason why NXT has any sort of validity in it, and just any sort of validation. It's like they're the reason why 90% of these people even have jobs, and I mean, and not only that, but like they did a really good job when it came to training, recruitment, and all that stuff. I mean, NXT with Triple H and William Regal running the show was superb, to say the least. I mean, even though it's a bunch of people that aren't on the main roster and just amateur wrestlers, but still, uh, I mean, William Regal. You got
Yeah.
one of the best technical wrestlers, best recruiters, just I mean, of all time, really.
They're killing NXT.
Well,
They're
they let
trying to.
I think they're going on NXT. I mean, now they let William Regal go. I mean, goodness, it's like what?
It's
You want to know who
Vince
else got
trying to
let
be in
go?
control.
I don't think it's that. I think they're trying to off NXT completely.
Really.
To come sell the damn thing. Um, let's see who cut. Road. I mean, okay, Road Dogg was a producer, I believe, for SmackDown, and then until finally he just said, "I can't take this anymore," and then they moved him to NXT. I mean, come okay, Road Dogg. He may not be the best like technical wrestler, just wrestler in general, but I mean, when you talk about promo out of that entire Armstrong fan, Bullet Bob, I mean Brian Armstrong, or yeah, that's Road Dogg, Brian Armstrong, Scott, which they got rid of Scott too. I mean, are you like seriously, Road Dogg? I mean, this is one of the. I mean, this guy is one of the best promos out there. I mean, if you want to know how to cut a promo, Road Dogg knows how to cut a promo. I mean,
Yeah.
go watch any of the Attitude Era clips with him and Billy Gunn. You know the um what's their tag? What was that tag team? New Age Outlaws. New Age Outlaws. Oh man, and they let go Scott too. Now
Yep.
you want to talk about a referee who was a wrestler and everything that could they need Scott Armstrong in AEW badly. I mean, come on, Aubrey
Yep.
Edwards or whatever her name is. They're just letting wrestlers. They're just letting wrestlers just do whatever they want to do in AEW. I mean, there's no referee to keep everything in check. I mean, if they put a Scott Armstrong in the referee position over there, and I mean, heck, they might even bring Earl Hebner out of retirement. They might even bring Earl Hebner
No
back.
way.
I mean,
There's no way.
if they could bring a Scott Armstrong and Earl Hebner in AEW. I mean, finally we'll have a referee that'll stretch a wrestler when they screw or do something
Could you
dumb.
imagine?
Like I mean, they need referees for sure in AEW, and I mean, and if they can get and if AEW could pick up William Regal and Road Dogg, oh, they would be. I mean, because that would cover. You would have a good referee, you'd have a good recruiter, and a good coach.
Yeah.
I
Definitely
mean,
agree.
if they would be. I mean, Tony Khan. I mean, this has been said on multiple podcasts, including Cornette's. Tony Khan will be stupid not to pick them up.
Are you
So
concerned at all
hopefully he does
with
it.
Are you concerned at all that AEW keeps picking up ex WWE guys? Do you think that's a strategy
Yes,
from Vince to try
I
to kill their homegrown talent in AEW?
I think so.
Because I
I
mean,
think Tony
it's the
Khan.
WCW strategy.
Yeah, and it worked. I mean, I think Tony Khan would do himself a lot of good if he let go of some of these, squash garbage wrestlers and send them off to Impact, where they can get a little more under their belt. I mean, heck, or like even what Cornette keeps screaming, suggesting. Why don't they bring really William Regal and create a developmental program like
Yeah.
OVW where they're running shows in a high school gym,
Well, they have
running little
AEW
squash
Dark
matches. So,
or whatever. Turn that into like
but
an
they're
NXT.
yeah, but they're doing AEW Dark in a basketball arena with a bunch of people in it, and I mean it's still being live streamed to YouTube.
Yeah.
So you kind of screw that up. But nevertheless, and here's the other thing that makes me mad. They let go of Samoa Joe again.
Again, for the second time. Why? So annoying.
I don't know what they've really done Samoa Joe dirty. I mean, this is just dirty.
Go back to wrestling, go to
I mean,
AEW, and compete in the main event scene.
they let they let Samoa Joe go the first time, and everybody was like, "How dare you?" And they were right to go, "How dare you do this?" So the first was that Samoa Joe come back to NXT. Triple H rescues him, and he's back in NXT doing a whole host of stuff. And then they let him go again. I don't understand. I
Unbelievable.
don't understand this. Why are they letting it's you're right? It's unbelievable. They're letting Samoa Joe go again. Like, come on, what is wrong with these people? Like, oh my
Would they
goodness.
let AJ
I,
Styles go twice in a row? No. Samoa Joe needs to be treated
no,
with a lot more respect.
I mean, Samoa Joe can still go. He can still wrestle.
Yeah.
He can still wrestle, and if he doesn't do that, you got one of the best out there to do training. I mean, trained wrestlers. He can. I mean, he could be helping cleaning up a lot of the garbage. Flips and turns and dives and. I mean, come on. He could be cleaning up a lot of BS that's going on currently. If he's not wrestling, I mean, if he's wrestling, even better because he can still cut a promo. He can still go, and they
Oh,
could push him to the
definitely.
moon. They could push him to the moon, and not only that, but he'd be good with all the other talent they got. I mean, even be giving them pushes. I
Yeah,
mean, he could
imagine
put people
him
over.
and
He could
Hangman.
go. Oh, yes. Him and Hangman Page. That would be. I mean, that could be main event level stuff if they do it right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else have they? Who else do we cover on top of the releases? Oh yeah, and the Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Well, they let Jeff Hardy go because I mean, man's pushing 5 years old. I mean, he would take. I mean, studs and umpsies over the years. They all. But guess what? We good news here. Time wrestling, and Jeff and Matt are is the Hardy Boys, and they're going on tour.
Really?
That's right.
Wow.
For they're coming back as a tag team in BTW Wrestling, March 12th. We're seeing Matt and Jeff wrestling again as a tag team. I mean, about
They're
time.
gearing up for an AEW run, I guarantee it.
I bet you. I mean, I know big BTW Wrestling has some connections. I mean, small, even if it's small or whatever, they have some connection into AEW, and you know that would be good if we get a Hardy Boys run, and they, I mean, maybe they can modify the style where they're not doing the stuff they're doing back in the 90s and early 2000s. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, that would be nice to see a
Hardy's Lucha Bros,
boys
Hardy's Young Bucks.
little. Yeah, that would put AEW over the moon. Absolutely.
Definitely. But all right.
Let's
Well, we're
see, and
getting
then let's.
go ahead.
There's one more little thing I want to cover real quick. Guess, and we also found something else. Apparently, there's some news come out that Corey Graves has been cleared for wrestling.
Yeah, do you think that they're
Corey
gonna
Graves
use
is
him
back
though?
because to wrestle. I highly doubt it.
They're probably
I
just
think
gonna
he's been on
keep him as
commentary too
commentator.
long, but yeah. He's a decent commentator. I mean, I don't mind him, but like, yeah, Corey Graves been cleared to wrestle again for the first time in 7 years. Bit too long, but who knows?
I mean,
If
good
they,
for
if
him.
they, who knows? They might have the. Well, you know what? Well, here's what they could do. Here's what they could do. They could use him. For example, they could let him be like someone like a Lawler. He'd be on commentary, but sometimes they might put him in the ring for a little match or two here
Yeah.
and there. They could use him like Jerry Lawler. Be interesting to see. I mean, even though he's no Jerry Lawler, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
more power
mean,
to
it'll
you.
have to just wait and see, but yeah. We're getting towards the hour here, Cole. If you want to just cut this off here and then we'll be back Monday or Tuesday and talk about the Royal Rumble results. So, you got anything else you want to say there?
No, yeah. Check us out next week. We'll be giving you all the review on the Royal Rumble, and then we'll throw in some little extra things to fill in on top of whatever time that we don't use up. So check us out next week. I'm sure you'll be very happy to see us.
Yep. So, with that being said, everybody, thanks for watching. Enjoy the Royal Rumble. Let us know your predictions, and we'll see how right or wrong we both are. Hopefully we're right, but hopefully it's a good pay per view. So, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye.